Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I discuss the debacle that is Meghan Markle. In today's episode, I want to talk you through the Archewell Foundation's 2023 990 tax form, and I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown. I've had a bit of time to look at this, and I want to show you some of the highlights. So let's start off with the Archewell Foundation's revenue for 2023. So combined, these two, look at their little heads there, achieved 5.7 mil in donations. 97% of that is donations. There's a small amount there they got, I guess, from interest, but let's say 5.7 mil in donations. Now that sounds okay. That sounds pretty good. In their world, that's nothing. Meghan can spend that in a couple weeks. I'm being generous there. But yeah, I mean, you would expect a bit more than that. I mean, this has been going on for a few years now. So let's have a look at it comparatively. And if we have a look over the last 3 years, look at this. So their first year, 2021, was through the roof, 13 mil in donations. So everyone believed in them. I don't know, there was a bit of sympathy going on. Who knows? But in 2022, what happened there? I'll tell you what happened. Karma. Karma, reputational damage, all sorts of things happened there. Okay. We knew what they were about, is what happened there. All right. So 2 mil. I mean, they must have just thought about shutting it down. Honestly, that's nothing. So in 2023, you see a bit of an increase there, and you're like, okay, maybe they're on the way back. Maybe they're making a comeback. Wow, good on them. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Because let's have a look at that 5.3 mil in donations. When we break that down, what does that look like? Yeah, 5 mil of that 5.3 is from one individual, not a company, one individual. Okay, I don't know who that is. I could speculate, but I don't know. Who is that? I'm going to guess it's one of Meghan's friends or associates, let's say. I don't think Harry has had much influence in that conversation. That's my opinion. But if you look at some of these other amounts here, these very small amounts, 125, 100, there's even a $10,000 in there. I mean, these are just pissy little amounts. A part of me thinks that maybe King Charles threw in the 10, like, here you go, son. You know, here's your money just to keep you going. Leave me alone. But yeah, so basically, their foundation is being held up in 2023 by one person. That is one relationship that can go pear shaped in 2 seconds. Are they going to donate again next year or this year? Did they donate again? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But wow, to rely on one person? That's insane. This is a shaky foundation. All right, let's have a look at some of their expenses, okay? Because this is when it gets a bit interesting. So their expenses total 3.2 mil, almost 3.3 mil. All right, so let's have a look at what did they spend their money on? Where did that 3.2 mil go? So 40% of it went to grants. Okay, that's 1.3 mil they gave out. Staff expenses were 30%, which sounds a tad high, but I think it's pretty normal. And then other expenses were about a mil, another 30%. So I'm thinking, what are these other expenses? That's interesting. But first of all, let's have a look at their grants, okay? Because from what I can understand, this foundation slash charity slash God knows what money laundering company, it's just a pass through. It's just a pass through. So they're accepting all of these grants from whoever wants to give them money, all of these donations, and then they're just divvying them out to other people, like as though they're in some kind of position of power. So I don't understand why these charities can't just go direct and get the money from other people. Like, why would you give Archewell 5 mil when you could just give it straight to the other charities rather than 30% of it is going to get spent on staff? I don't understand this. Anyway, so 1.3 mil in grants. Let's have a look at who they gave their money to. Who are Archewell supporting? Who are they aligned with? And some of you might have heard this, but 30% of their grants that they gave out went to these two companies here or charities. So $250,000 went to the women's wellness space. Now, we've all heard now that that is actually run by Ashley Biden, okay, proving that Meghan just cannot stay politically neutral. All right, I'm not saying it's a bad foundation. I'm not saying they don't do any good work, but it's just very interesting. The other group here that Archewell have given money to is the NAACP Empowerment Program. Now, I had to look that up. That stands for National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People. So these two charities sound just like Meghan. I mean, does Harry have anything to do with the foundation? I'd feel like he has nothing to do with it. I think he's focusing on his own stuff because he knows this is nothing to do with him at all. I don't even know why he bothers. So, anyway, I thought that was interesting. The other groups that Archewell gave money to, and you can pause this video and have a look. This is them here. But overall, what you start to see is that they're mostly relating to women. So you've got that welcome project thing. There's a million little grants going out to all the little groups because I guess they're all around the country. And yeah, I mean, that's for women. That's just for women. Then you've got some menstrual something or other, remote communities or something like this. And then you've got vulnerable mothers. Then you do have a whole chunk to do with journalism and community journalism or something, whatever that actually means. But that sounds a bit like their own agenda, if you ask me. I don't see how that is helping anyone anyway. But what was interesting here is this one on the bottom where they've given $5,500, which to me looks like a token amount because it is so small. It's right on the bottom and it's for veterans. Yeah, yeah, because they don't care. They don't care. Meghan doesn't care. Harry might, and who knows? But yeah, the Archewell Foundation doesn't care. All right, that's just to make Harry feel like he's part of the foundation, maybe. Yeah, but it's very insignificant in the scheme of things. So let's have a look at their other expenses because just remember that 1 mil, which is 30% of all of their expenses, just went under other. So let's have a look. So we've got event costs. I don't know what events they're running that cost $150,000. Legal costs, you would say, are pretty high. I don't know what that's for, but that looks high. Supplies, I don't know what that is. And then you've got some other things, travel. Doesn't look overly high. IT is just I don't know, someone bought an iPad or something. Who knows? Anyway, you've got this other. So again, other. So I'm just going down these rabbit holes going, okay, other expenses. Now there's an other category. So what is in this other? What is this $554,000 that they've spent? Okay, because first of all, it's quite a big amount in comparison to all of these other amounts on the screen here. It's quite a lot. And if you're putting a lot under other, the government wants to know why you're doing that. So if you put more than 10% in this category, they want to know more about it. So this is 17%. It's way, 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 way above the 10%, okay, of their total expenses. So they have to explain it in another section, and they do that here, and this is their explanation. It's program service expenses. All right. Now, program service expenses is a good thing for a charity. It just means that basically they are active, they're running programs. So you're accepting donations and you're running programs. So the program service expenses should be quite high and they should reflect a desired percentage of their total expenses. So, what they recommend is that it should sit at around 65 to 70%. Okay, that's when you want to be able to say, well, I'm going to donate to this charity because I can see they're actually spending the money that I'm giving them in the right way. Well, Archewell's 15%. Yeah, that's not great. That's not great at all. But look, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because, like I said before, this is not an active foundation where they're doing the work. Of course, they're not doing the work. We know that. They do 1 hour a week or an hour a month. What was it? It was nothing. Probably just traveling was the hour. Anyway, I give them the benefit of the doubt. It is a pass through organization. I can see that. They take the money, they dish it out. Okay. So the companies that they're giving the money to, they're running the programs. All right. Well, let's include those grants then. Okay. Let's say that when you give a grant, you're basically, that's a program expense. All right. So let's add that up. And is that going to give us 65 or 70%? No, 55%. Okay. So the Archwell program expense ratio is incredibly low, whichever way you look at it. Money doesn't seem to be going towards, the programs at all. What I would say as well is that it is very much centered around Meghan and her interests. I don't see much of Prince Harry. His footprint is invisible in this foundation. And really, it's just a pass through. What is the point? What is the point other than to make these guys feel better about themselves? That's all I can see. So, would I donate a cent to this foundation? Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. All right. Thank you, you guys, for listening. I hope that was helpful for some of you. And please subscribe and like this video, and I'll keep these coming. Thank you. Bye.